Well, hello everyone. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I've been very busy with a lot of things. And I just couldn't overlook what's going on right now, though. It's crazy out there. I don't know if you're having experiences like I am, but I'm seeing people driving crazy, running stop signs, running red lights, completely immersed in texting on their phones, just distracted out the wazoo. And I was thinking, boy, this sure does feel like Mercury retrograde, because there's a lot of technical things going on too with my Wi-Fi, with just seems like everything. So I looked up a few things, and Mercury entered the sign of Gemini on the 17th of May, and it's paired up there with Uranus in Gemini as well. And you know that's going to be going on until the June 1st. So it's going to feel like we've got Mercury retrograde times 10 steroids crazy, even though it's not Mercury retrograde. It feels like it, and it's acting like it, except it's more highlighted. So with technical things going wrong. But Uranus is the planet of change, and it's when it's paired up. Its natural ruler is Aquarius, which is more grounded and a little more mature. Well, it's in Gemini right now, which is very chaotic and just runs, it's just running off at the mouth without even thinking. So it's creating erratic behavior. That's what's happening. And it's squared to the North Node, which is in Pisces retrograde right now. So, it's like your head is going faster than your physical body. So your mind may be running on all cylinders, and the body can't keep up. So it's creating things like accidents and mental overstimulation, which is why you may find yourself tripping over your own damn feet, as you're running out to the car because you forgot and left it running, and you're in the house and you'd forgotten that you left the key in the ignition with the car running. This is just a scenario, of course. I'm not saying it happened to me. But I did have, 2 days ago, the starter went out of my car, and luckily I was able to start it for one last time and get it to the mechanic. But then I had to ride my bike to my appointments when it's so hot right now, and walk to and from the mechanic. But as I told somebody yesterday, what makes the outcome more livable and more palatable is your perspective. So even though it was annoying and I had lots to do that day, I was making sure that I gave thanks that at least I had a bicycle to ride to my appointments, that I'm healthy enough to get on that bike and ride to my appointments, and that the mechanic is close enough and I was able to get my car there and not have to have it towed. Which would have been another $150. So I started giving thanks for the positives, which kind of changed everything. Because when you have something like this happen out of the clear blue, and you wonder what you did to bring it in, to make that happen, you just have to remember that these are machines, these are mechanical things, and so. They're not doing things against you. It's just how you respond to what happens to you. And right now with Gemini, Uranus, and Gemini and Mercury, it can make you just go bonkers if you don't slow yourself down and put things in perspective, because things are happening right now. So it does seem a little crazy out there, and it's very unpredictable. So I would say to slow yourself down. I know that I am really working hard on myself to keep myself contained and grounded. I have my Shungite that I take with me. I've got Shungite I've got Shungite cylinders, which I can hold one in each hand. I'm using my magnets to stand on in the morning. I have these big magnets that I bought, so I'll stand on them for about 5 minutes and just do a meditation and stay grounded, so that I'm not just acting erratic and crazy and just, going over the cliff with the rest of the sheep in the matrix. So I'm working very hard even on my own self. It's not easy, but when you're consciously aware that the energy is outside of you and it's not you personally, you can slow yourself down, and you can take a deep breath, and you can say, okay, it's not me. This is not me. It's the energy of the collective, and I don't have to participate in the madness. I'm in it just like everyone else, but I don't have to participate in the madness. I'll just slow myself down a bit. But it is a crazy time for distractions, nervous anxiety, impulsive behavior, accidents, dropping, breaking things, auto issues, Wi-Fi, electrical issues. It's the difference here than when Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde tends to make us kind of foggy and just kind of second guess ourselves, and it slows down the mental process to where you can feel like you're walking through quicksand, and everything moves very slow during Mercury retrograde. But right now, the difference with this, when I said it's like Mercury retrograde but on crazy overdrive, is because you mentally may be very sharp and very fast thinking. That has not slowed down like it might have in Mercury retrograde, but your physical cannot keep up with how fast the mental may be running. So it's a disconnect between the brain and the physical, and that's why a lot of accidents can happen with this kind of configuration and aspect of Uranus and Gemini, and also with Mercury and Gemini. And then you pair that up with a square to the North Node in Pisces, which is about movement and going forward and where we're all collectively going. And so, it can really test us right now. So my advice would be to slow down a bit, especially to not get ahead of yourself, because you don't want to jump into something and you realize, oh my goodness, I've jumped into the pool and there's piranhas in this pool, or I've jumped into the pool and I jumped in the shallow end and was expecting to dive into the deep end. I'm just saying, you have to be very careful right now, at least until the end of this month. That would be my advice. The moon is squaring Mars, and that creates even more impulsive behavior and conflicts that blow up like a volcano. Not everything is negative about this energy. You can use it really in a very mentally stimulating way if you don't get ahead of yourself and do something that you have to go back and really like clean it up afterwards, and you might not be able to clean it up afterwards. You might take it too far, and there's and then it's done. So we don't want to do those kinds of things. We don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. We don't want to temper ourselves and harden to the point where if we fall or something happens, it just breaks. We want to stay somewhat in the middle and balanced. And this is a very unbalanced time right now. So it feels a little crazy. And it is a little crazy, but you're so mentally sharp and focused that you're going to really notice the craziness in everyone else if you just slow your movements down a bit and just watch how people are reacting. It'll tell you where they're at in their evolutional emotional stage because you're going to see how it affects these people. And you don't want to be around someone who's emotionally unevolved and just can't handle things, and then later on they're wondering what the hell happened, what did I say, what did I do, I didn't even realize what I was saying or doing. So just know that it'll probably be a little less of a problem for the signs of Gemini, sun signs of Gemini, or a rising sign of Gemini, or even Virgos, which are also ruled by Mercury, just like Gemini, but a little more grounded in that mercurial energy than Gemini, because Gemini rules communication, and Virgo rules the sixth house of healing and service to the public. So, you don't want to, if you're in an industry where you are dealing with people all day long and you're in the service industry of some sort, you definitely want to slow yourself down before you get caught out there, and you're like the king with no clothes, and everybody's been telling you you're wearing clothes and you realize you're not, because you just weren't paying attention, and you were so busy running off at the mouth, so to speak. But I hate to keep saying that because that just sounds negative, but it's not meant to be negative, because Geminis do have the gift of gab. We do know that. I have a Gemini sister, and yeah, she's very funny at times. So there is a lot of humor with that Gemini energy. But I think for those signs of Gemini, Aquarius, which is fairly grounded in the natural ruler of Uranus, I think that Gemini, Virgo, Aquarius will probably handle this okay and not feel so traumatized by this. I think the signs of Cancer and Capricorn may definitely feel the trauma more than others because of the nature, especially of Cancer, which is a very emotional water sign, and doesn't do very well at criticism, taking it or giving it, and just doesn't do very well with erratic behavior of others. It just doesn't do well with that. So, that Capricorn, and which is also is an earth sign. It's in polar opposite of Cancer. They may not do so well. As a Pisces myself, I'm very thankful that I have a Virgo rising, because I do believe that's helping me some. I have had to really slow myself down and control myself, through all of this, because I do tend to have an explosive energy at times, and will say what I think without really thinking of where it's going to make me land in the future. That's kind of an oxymoron. I say what I think, not thinking of where it's going to thrust me, but that's what I'm saying. So just know that it's not that much longer. It's till the end of this month. That's 11 days. We'll be okay. My advice is just to kind of slow it down a bit, and don't let yourself get overly excited by what's happening around you, because you don't want to get involved in something that has nothing to do with you, and all of a sudden you're swept up in the wave, and you're riding that wave, and you're bobbing up and down, and you're having a hard time out there with the wave. So I'm just saying that if you slow it down a bit, really think about what you're going to be doing for the day, and just maybe 5 minutes of meditation in the morning to just set your intentions, and to maybe also take some Shungite with you, which I think definitely helps with grounding. Shungite, also the magnets, selenite can help clear things. I swear by that. But Shungite should be able to help with grounding, along with things like tiger's eye. That's a good one. That'll help with that. Carnelian can help as well. Keep the grounding with the root chakra. So just if you feel yourself spiraling out of control and it is really not you and it's just the energies around you, just take a moment, step aside, take some deep breaths. It's amazing what a few deep breaths can do. I'm serious. It can just change the whole frequency and vibration within yourself. So just remember that. If you feel yourself getting swept up in an emotional upheaval and it's really nothing to do with you, but it's all the energies around you, just step back, step aside, take some really deep cleansing breaths, and just ground yourself, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We got this. That's all I'm going to say. We got this, okay? And it's not all negative. There's a lot of positive that can come through this as well, like pushing us forward into, into more future driven energies. All this can do that for us. So it's not all negative. It's positive too, but it can feel that way because you're just being swept along. And we don't want to just be swept along. We want to have control over our outcome. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I hope to see you again soon. I just had to take some time, and I hope everyone has a wonderful Memorial holiday weekend. Okay? Namaste. I love you all so very much.